This part two inadvertently stopped the video, so this is the second one. Again, showing where the pavers, plumbing under the pavers. You have access there. You don't have to pull up the concrete. You pull up the pavers. This was designed, which was initially asphalt for RV parking. You can see how deep and long and wide the parking. It was a challenge at one time because the street was not wide enough, but since the new development, they've widened the street, as well as I intentionally widened the retaining wall, so making that turn for RV parking. There'll be plenty of room to pull up or either back up over there and access this area for RV parking. On this side of the garage and house is electrical outlet, so you could go through the wall and put your electrical unit for RV parking. And now with the e-cars, something you can do for that as well. Just know that there's electricity on this side. This panel runs the water flow sprinklers for the backyard, and it's a manual. This one over here is for the front yard, and it's Wi-Fi operated. Has a lot of modern features, rain delay, so forth. That was installed by the city of Glendora through a water program about 6 years ago. Conserve water during the time when there was, the drought, serious drought concerns. Okay. Over here on this side of the house, speaking of plumbing now, 80% of the plumbing has been redone underneath the house. Okay, and that is your clean out. I brought that clean out a little closer to where the crawl space is on the side of the house, so it can be easily accessed, and that you can snake throughout the whole house, the residence, to do a clean out. You need to do it there, or some plumbers in the past have gone through one of the commodes in the additional bathroom by the laundry area. I'll show that when we do the interior. But that's the clean out. Again, raised foundation so everything can be accessed from that position. Okay, back here is a door entryway to laundry area and where the bathroom is that I just mentioned on this end of the house. I'm doing that real quick before we go and do the interior, because plumbing extends all the way to where those vents are, exterior vents, that you can access underground. And that's important because we had plans and intentions at one time of further developing this back room or space, which is permitted, have permits, copy permits for this as well. It wasn't done by me, or us, by the previous residents. Okay, and so the plan was for us, and why it's important to access the plumbing, because we wanted to put a additional space for ADU. And if anyone knows about ADU, they're commonly known as mother-in-law's quarters, additional living space for generational family needs. And the plumbing, of course, goes on back to the back of the house. Now this right here, what you see right there with the pool water flowing, this star valve connected to the hose bib is for the pool water. So not only is the water flowing back here, but that's access to how to get the water to the pool. Okay. And here's the pool pump, motor, and filter. Excuse me. We were going to relocate this closer up or further up on the hill with, again, plenty of space. Extend this living area here all the way out to this point, which would give you about another 250 to 300 square feet. Build a walkway from the gate, again, being able to access from the driveway on down here and have private access to the ADU. Okay. As you can see, there is a pool, and it's unique in the fact that you can't have pools like this anymore. It's grandfathered into the property. It's a little bit over 10 feet deep as the deepest end, on down to 3 feet at the shallow end. It's not an Olympic size, but Olympic style pool. Olympic size is a little, of course, square footage wise and linear wise, it's a little bit bigger. However, it's designed and it's long, as you can see. So more than enough for the proficient swimmer or professional swimmer to get a good workout. It's also, again, a beautiful thing to have for entertainment, family functions, and so very unique and valuable. Now, there was a pool slide that we had removed and then kept the diving board. But although, again, at that depth of water, that pool, those things are not approved or permitted these days, okay? I mentioned about the condenser on the southeast side of the house. By the way, we are on the northwest side of the house. Brand new HVAC, about 6 months old. Brand new water heater, oversized water heater, and strapped. This is about 7 years old or less. Probably closer to 5.5, I'm sorry. Digital features, okay. This water heater services the southwest side of the house. It's also larger and more capacity than needed because it was done so with water heater as well as HVAC with the potential of expanding this room to ADU, which would need, of course, plumbing and heating, air conditioning installed. And so it was designed to be able to accommodate that if necessary. All the flowers, plants, greenery, agriculture, and layout were things that were done by our family over the years. How quiet and serene it is back here was the ultimate outcome of the space that we had to work with. Okay, I'm moving to the northeast, the back of the house, to show space. There was at one point a jacuzzi spa sitting where this pad, brick pads or slate pads are. That's the wiring up there, control panel if you want to install it again. Updated wiring as of 2020, okay, which is by code because it lifts them off the ground, at least 4 feet off the ground, 3 feet, 4 feet off the ground. This also is another brand new water heater, okay, digital features that services the bathrooms on the southwest side of the house. There are 2 bathrooms, a master bathroom and the one behind this window right here, which is the shared or guest bathroom, I should say. All right. Plenty of sprinklers and throughout the back. And again, the sprinkler system on the right side of the garage, if you're looking into the garage, is what operates the front yard, and the one on the left side, the manual, operates the backyard. Anti-siphon, one is right there. There's 2 of them. There's one right there, if you can see that. Okay. And then there's one on the other end of the backyard, going that direction. By the way, there are solar lights throughout the backyard to kind of illuminate, give a little ambiance at night. Looks really great. There's those bird of paradise that I talked to you about, and they are spread out throughout the backyard. And then there's that other anti-siphon that operates the plumbing control for the backyard. Okay, another important issue, exterior maintenance issue, especially related to the back, access to the back room. And this area here that sits down off of the main walkway in the backyard. So this trench right here which was the original when the house was built, is a drainage system for when it rains, water to flow and be absorbed into the ground. Similar to how I explained the cesspool, as water goes into that cesspool, it will permeate the ground and absorb it. Well, the water will come off the roof, as you can see the slight trench in the concrete, and roll down into this trench. And originally it would be absorbed. Over the years, just like the cesspool, it started to back up and clog, in most recent years especially. And so there's a couple of things that had to do in order to relieve the buildup of water here so it wouldn't flood this back room, which happened at a time. And it's still yet to be seen if all the things that have been done will be ultimately successful. What's been done is French drain has been installed in this trench. You can research what a French drain is and how it operates, but it's to assist once more in the water being absorbed from the ground. So the ground was dug down further, some material like a lightweight sheet put there, and then the rock set in there, and you can actually see some of the material right here. Okay. And then the water falls through the rocks and the material and drains. And then there's new rain gutters that have been installed back here to relieve some of the water. Okay, and it flows on either the west or east side of the house. So two areas where it can flow around the house. And then last, I had a little drain installed here, plumbing PVC drain installed here. It's about 1 inch wide. It comes out through the garage. Excuse the bike and other items in the way, but I think you can see where it is. It goes along the wall, and the pipe comes out in the front. So there's additional drainage there. All right. One other and most important item regarding the water flow, both for exterior but definitely interior, is the condition of the roof. This roof is about 7 years old, ceramics type tile roof, with brand new boards underneath it, paper underneath it. Can last for another 12, 15 years. Some of the wood and new wood and others you can see through the garage because it's exposed, and I will show you what the attic looks like later. So, and as another precaution, the flooring as well as this threshold is being sealed and reinforced. Matter of fact, along this wall underneath this outdoor artificial grass, it has been water sealed so that to help prevent water from seeping through it, because this area is lower than the paved area. It drops down, so that's why when water would fill up, it had a potential to seep in, and hopefully all that's been eliminated. Okay, a few things I omitted, just thought of as, again, maintenance features. This is a shut-off valve that will shut off water to the back of the house, from the house to the back of the house. And hose bibs, here's one. This is a main shut-off valve for water, and that's for gas. So if there's ever any problem with leakage or problem with it, this is where you shut it off. This, so you don't have to do it from the street. You can do it into the home. There is another that's specific to some of the sprinklers and water flow on this side of the house. Plenty of hose bibs. There's access to watering and things, even if you didn't have a sprinkler system. Another anti-siphon to control the sprinkler system. Another hose bib with a shutoff valve. Just past another anti-siphon as well. And that one is over here. So they operate different sections of the lawn, watering the lawn. There's that one there. Another hose bib on this side of the house. And again, now that I'm remembering, to show you the ones in the rear of the house again, because there's a few that I missed, as well as another feature that I missed. There's a hose bib. And as you can see, this cord down here, that's grounding the electrical panel that was installed. You need to have a solid ground. And so that's why that goes all the way to the new electrical panel. So you should never have a problem with anybody getting electrocuted because the house is not properly ground. Of course, that's the gas meter. And let me go back to the back to show you the other hose bibs and the outside shower. Okay, I showed you a hose bib by the valve for the water, to put water in the pool. Here's another one right under the window in the back bathroom. Show you that when we get in the interior. Okay. On the southeast side of the house, excuse me, northeast side of the house, backyard. Here's another right by the master bedroom. Rear door that accesses the bathroom, but also from inside comes out to the patio pool area. Outside shower. And then an additional hose bib to service this area over here. So plenty of access to flowing water, setting a hose to it, and having it accessible. Going back to kind of where we started about the septic cesspool. This is a substance called Rid-X that you can get at Ace Hardware, Home Depot, Lowe's, any hardware store, that you put in the toilets. And put them in each, there's 3 of them, and then flush the toilets. I put a whole box in each. That help generate enzymes, bacteria that's used to eat up the solid waste again and turn it into liquid form so that it can flow and drain through the cesspool. Okay, so we put a box in each commode at least once every 4 or 5 months, twice a year. Okay, and it really helps do the job so that there's not backup and or the need to pump the septic tank frequently. When we first got here, that was because, again, that cesspool was starting to fail. And we realized that happened, that's when the other was installed. But since then, and we were pumping the, by the way, septic at least, once every 2 years, maybe even more than that. Now we haven't pumped the septic in 6 years because the stuff works as well as the system is working properly. So it liquefies the hard waste, sends it to the cesspool, and it drains as it's supposed to. So really no need to worry about the reality of this septic cesspool versus public sewer and plumbing. There's some pros to having it as well, because if you have one in the public system, then there's this cost that's related to that you may incur. When they first did the development, there was plans to come 25 feet onto the front of our property, so all the residents here, and offer us access to the public system, which the development across the street is on. But for historical landmark reasons, it was shot down, voted against by residents that wanted to retain those historic landmarks, and as a result, it took out the option for these residents on this side, for the developer to be responsible for providing access to public sewer.